Hello everybody once again to the prelimination rounds of the Grand Tournament of the Old World, as we have got the final of the Chaos Dwarfs with Zhatan the Black taking on Astragoth Ironhand. Astragoth had a solid showing last week, and we will see how he does this time to see if he cements his future in the Grand Tournament. Now, Jeffrey has told us things are indeed a go-go, as he's representing Sweden in his finest yellow and blue outfit here as we go on over to the forces ahead. We can see this hill in between. It's going to block line of sight at the beginning, but we have Zhatan's forces here on the attacking side, and he's brought some different units for this fight. We've got a Kadai Fireball, which are a type of summoned creature, rather impressive looking kind of lava elemental fire creatures, very big, very powerful. He's got a unit of Chaos Dwarf Warriors as his front line, another unit of Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, always with the great weapons goal of that. He's got his own unit of Orc Labourers as well going into the front line. His second line of forces include a Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, this time with spears rather than bows. He's also got a unit of Hobgoblin Archers, and his rear line has some very powerful, hard-hitting Dwarf Blunderbusses. Very good units, very, very effective at range and melee combat. And Zhatan himself, who is on the back of a beast known as a Lamassu, a type of anti-magic sort of sorcery beast with lots of blue fluff coming out of it. On the other hand, we have Astragoth's forces, the winner of the previous round. His front line consists of a unit of Orc Labourers backed by 2 units of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, a solid front line. He's got a fast-moving unit in a Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with spears also, a Hobgoblin Archers, Astragoth himself on his mechanized elemental suit, and then we also have his own Lamassu, just as a lone beast, this time not as a mount, and at the back he also has a Chaos Dwarf Blunderbuss. So, relatively even forces here as we go into this one. Now, Zhatan rolled as the attacker, meaning Astragoth's AI is going to make sure that he's just going to sit there and wait for his enemy to come to him. In this open battle scenario, the AI does seem to have improved quite a lot with recent patches, and little minor hotfixes here and there to make it so the AI aren't quite as dim as they once were, which is a nice switch. And we're going to see here that Zhatan is going to try and get his units over the hill. The hill is going to slow down his units going up there. They're going to lose a little bit of their stamina as they crest the hill. Now, range isn't going to be a problem. Chaos Dwarf units tend to have relatively small ranges, as you can see there. I mean, the outer range there of Hobgoblin Archers goes up to this line there. So I think maybe Astragoth made a mistake in not getting a bit closer to get that firing line, but he's cast a spell there, a little bit of collateral damage to the Blunderbusses and to a Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapon, but nothing serious. I'm just going to alter things. Zhatan, on the other hand, is just charging headlong. He's taken, actually a good chunk of his hit points there, as his Lamassu mount is attacking the Lamassu of Astragoth's force there. Both of them have been hit with the same debuff, the Enfeebling Foe, which is reducing melee attack and melee defense, so they're basically equaling out, although he does have the Armor of Gazrak, which gives him a 30% damage resistance, which might help in this monster-on-monster battle. Meanwhile, Astragoth has just slammed straight into the front lines, attacking the Kadai Fireball. These are tough, hard-hitting, basically they're a type of construct enemy. So a monster that's capable of doing a lot of damage very quickly, and they are also unbreakable. They fight until they are destroyed. As we can see now, the archers are starting to get in their first shots at each other, picking their targets. We can see that the Chaos Dwarf Blunderbusses of Zhatan's force, I'm not quite sure what they're doing. They should already be raining death, and then again, I should be seeing it from both sides, but it looks like they both have their own targets that they're aiming for here. We can see the front line has just formed here. We've got blue and red banners smashing into each other. The Kadai Fireball seem to have briefly left the melee, but now they've gone back into that. You can see that the archers are exchanging fire with each other, and we see incoming and outgoing shots from the Hobgoblin Archers. We can see that the labourers, the 2 labourer units have battled each other. It looks like Zhatan's Orc Labourers have won out against Astragoth's Orc Labourers, and the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders have actually gotten in and attacked the Dwarf Blunderbusses on his side. And there we go, we finally got his units. You can see just solid, chunky damage being dealt out there by the Blunderbusses. A powerful unit, and there's a huge blob of infantry over here that they should be able to get shots on, if not firing at the Lamassu. But Zhatan, on the other hand, we can see is nearly dead. he got into a very nasty scrum there, and it did not work out for him. As you can see, these blunderbusses just send bodies flying across the screen as each round plows in, and they do a lot of damage. Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses are probably one of the most solid ranged units in the game, and yes, for good reason. Their rate of fire combined with their armor-piercing projectiles. And I say all this, and Zhatan has just been defeated. There he is. There he lies. Probably under his mount, probably crushing. There's a dead hobgoblin on the floor. We're not quite sure where Zhatan has landed. This might be him over here. Yes, it is. There's Zhatan flat on his face. He is out of this battle, and that is a big morale hit for Zhatan's forces. I'm actually surprised Jeff hasn't called the battle at this stage, as it looks like it'd be very difficult for Zhatan's forces to really come back from this. The Lamassu is trying to engage the blunderbusses, but as I mentioned earlier, the blunderbusses are actually pretty decent at melee combat. And you can see that the Lamassu is actually losing this fight. It's losing the leadership, and it is losing hit points relatively quickly. But that might be all for naught, because as we can see, there's more red banners that aren't flashing compared to blue banners that are flashing. And that means that Astragoth's forces have slowly won out. We can have a look at the current numbers here as 255 of Zhatan's forces against 237 of Astragoth's. But it's clear that the weight of the battle, the power balance here, is definitely more in Astragoth's favour. As we can see, the Chaos Dwarfs with great weapons are about to break. The Lamassu narrowly escaping with its life there. A single volley from the blunderbusters would probably finish off that great beast. But they've got bigger problems to contend with now. They're taking shots from Astragoth's blunderbuss troops. And Astragoth himself, speaking of the robotic dwarf warrior himself, he has gotten into this fight, and he is just smashing his way through the blunderbusses, even though there's some arrows coming down on him. Oh, a little animation there. He kicked him up the end, slammed him headfirst into the floor. That is a dead Chaos Dwarf blunderbusser. Blunderbussy? I'm not quite sure. It's probably blunderbusser. As the Hobgoblin Archer is now being attacked by the Lamassu, even in its weakened state, will probably more than easily be able to rout these troops. And to be honest, I'm expecting Jeff to call this battle any time now. Even with the resurgent Chaos Dwarf Warriors, they are going to be attacked by the Lamassu as well. The only minor victory that they could really pull out of this is to be able to say that they could at least kill the Lamassu. But no, Jeff's called it. It's a Pyrrhic victory for Astragoth, but it's a victory nonetheless. He has advanced to the final, and we can have a look at what exactly rung out here. Both forces relatively similar size, 441 to 430. Zhatan's forces lost 260, and Astragoth lost 226. Again, relatively equal losses. Zhatan himself didn't get any kills, but as we saw, he was largely engaged with fighting the Lamassu and a little bit of fighting Astragoth, so he didn't get into the melee. His infantry units woefully underperformed. His Chaos Dwarf Warriors only 16 kills. His great weapons did a bit better at 48. His Hobgoblin Archers were largely focused on trying to do damage to the Lamassu and Astragoth, so they only got 6 in their spread of fire. The Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with Spears, though, hats off them. 92 kills. Their flanking action obviously killed a lot of troops on Astragoth's side. And the Kadai Fireborn, for all their power, only 28 kills, relatively low. Blunderbusses were a big letdown as well with 10 kills. On the other side, Astragoth, he got 47. His Chaos Dwarf units combined got over 100 kills. His archers did 12 compared to 6, so double that. His Wolf Raiders didn't do as well, but to be honest, considering that the Orc Labourers and the Wolf Raiders were probably the two of the weaker units on the field, that's not too bad. The Lamassu got 27, but it also was worth its weight in gold, because not only did it almost completely dominate the battle against Zhatan the Black, but it also managed to stop those blunderbusses from firing at the latter half of the battle, and even his own Chaos Dwarf blunderbuss got 31 compared to 10. So overall, Astragoth did a remarkably succinct job of winning both battles, with quite a few of his forces intact, to be honest. The remaining, he still had roughly half his army left at the end of both battles, so that will see Astragoth Ironhand advance to the Grand Tournament of the Old World. We will see bigger battles between different races, and I'm quite excited for this one. I hope the dozen or so people who do watch this will be interested. I found this to be quite an interesting series to play through, to be honest, and I am interested in seeing how the AI will sort of fight each other with larger battles, and with the different races instead of it being the same one going against one another. So I'm I'll see those of you who watch these next time. Until then, have a good week all. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.